A new study done in Hong Kong, the University of Hong Kong, shows that very few people in Hong Kong under 30 years old actually identify as Chinese. Many of them refer to themselves or identify as Hong Kongers or native inhabitant of Hong Kong. Now, this is significant, not just for the implications of it, being a part of China, but the historical aspect of it as well. In 1997, when Hong Kong returned to China, the University of Hong Kong surveyed the local residents about how they define themselves. Hong Kongers or mixed identity was about 1 in 5. So this is a huge change. Now that Hong Kong is a part of China, less people identify as Chinese. It's interesting how this would happen. As a British colony, they felt more like they were Chinese than actually being a part of China. And this is fairly shocking because the opposite should be true. More people should identify as Chinese than Hong Konger. But what's important here is that China has failed in this regard. How is it that the Communist Party of China failed to include people of Hong Kong in society? This is something they should have gone out of their way to do, make them feel as a part of it. But we saw the opposite. The creation of the one country, two systems policy, in which the so-called Communist Party of China deliberately created an area of capitalism, because they are differentiating it from the mainland system, which, let's be honest, is also capitalism. Now, I understand why China did that. Because the rich elite inside of Hong Kong thought, at the time, because I remember when this happened, that there was going to be, that the Communist Party was going to come in and take over everybody's property, and they were going to be forced to be peasants, and they would go insanely poor, when really China gave them capitalist autonomy to continue being exploiters, continue being a financial center of not just Asia, but the world. The Communist Party of China deliberately created a policy which separated mainland people from those in Hong Kong, gave them different laws, gave them different identities, gave them different rights. And then all of a sudden we find that the people in this privileged place identified themselves differently than those in the mainland. It should not be surprising in any way, shape, or form that this happened. This is the natural result of intentionally creating that divide with a policy, rather than simply integrating Hong Kong fully into the rest of China like everybody else. What China did was create, literally, another class within the country. And as a result, we got all these Hong Kong protests claiming that they are not China, they are Hong Kong. This should be obvious that it's false. They are Chinese. They are a part of China. But they don't feel that way. And that's what's important. Because that identity as Hong Konger, as opposed to Chinese, is what has been fostered by that policy. And this is a failure of Chinese so-called socialism with Chinese characteristics. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.